Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ask Matt Lloyd. Right now we're at the Diamond Mastermind here in Bali, Indonesia, and I've got Chan here from Singapore, and he's got the question for today.
Well, thank you, Matt. My question for today is nowadays I find a lot of business owners, they try to start up their business and sell it. They have the intention to sell it after reaching some point of achievement. So I would like to ask you whether you have the intention to sell more in the future.
Okay, so whether I have the intention to ever sell Mobe in the future?
Yep.
Sure, I'll answer that. So first of all, when I started Mobe in 2011, and really it was the evolution of an internet marketing business I'd started more in 2009, and it eventually evolved into Mobe. When I started Mobe in 2011, I certainly was never ever thinking about any exit strategy. All I was thinking about was, how do I create some information products and sell them? So that's the kind of level that I was thinking on. These days, I don't really have any intention to sell Mobe. Honestly, I don't think I could right now, and I'll tell you why. I think that a big part of the business is built around me, where I'm branded all throughout it, and that doesn't really lend itself to making it a saleable business, because if someone was to buy it, it'd be kind of hard for them to keep on growing it in that regard. But that's also part of the reason why I'm putting more of the emphasis on branding Mobe now versus than me. So I'm attending a lot fewer events these days, and I'm having our teams go out there and do them instead, and they're doing an amazing job. In fact, a lot of the time they even do better when I'm not there. So yeah, it's certainly not dependent on me, but no, I don't have any intention right now to sell it. Now, having said that, one thing that I have really started to appreciate over the last, I would say about 18 months, is that when you do start a business, any business, always start the business with the intention of building a franchise prototype. Now, that's not my line. That comes from a guy called Michael Gerber. And I first heard of Michael Gerber many years ago. He's the author of a book called The E-Myth, which is a bestseller. And I'd heard about this E-Myth book, and I read it many years ago, and it didn't really resonate with me. I thought, I don't know what the big deal was about this book. So I put it away and I didn't read it for many years. And then about 18 months ago, I started reading it, and with my experience in now running a business the size of Mobe, I really did appreciate what he talked about. What he talked about was that most small business owners out there are not really running a small business. What they've actually done is they have created a job, they work for themselves, they call it a business, but at the end of the day, it's a job. Because if they stop showing up to work, the whole business would go away pretty quickly. Okay, so they're doing all the work. So he says that most small business owners are operating under the illusion that they have a business when it's more just a self-created job. So what he teaches is that you want to be building a franchise prototype. In other words, the actual product becomes the business. The business is the product. So in other words, think of Ray Kroc in the 50s. 1956, he comes across McDonald's, the two McDonald's brothers, and he purchases the franchise rights. And rather than getting too caught up and too excited about spending the rest of his life making hamburgers and fries, he goes to work on creating the system or improving the system that the original McDonald's brothers had done of the entire business. So for example, putting in place the processes, the uniforms that the staff wear, how do you make fries so that they taste the same consistently every time, exactly how long do you grill that hamburger meat for. Everything is documented. And he starts working on making the business itself the product so that he could sell it. In other words, so that he could franchise it. Because he knew that for him to grow McDonald's, he would have to have people buy into the franchise, buy the franchise rights, and they would only do that if there was a system there and there was a step-by-step process that they could follow so that they could actually get results. So he went to work on treating the McDonald's outlet like that was the product he was selling. Okay? And once he got it to a certain stage, then he did start selling it. He started selling the franchise rights, and it grew very quickly, and now it's over 30,000 outlets all around the world. But Michael Gerber says that every business owner should do that. They should go to work on their business as if they were going to franchise it out, even if they have no intention of doing that. Because when you do that, when you take the time to write out processes or to put in place processes in the first place to create systems, to put in staff who have very clearly defined roles, when you take the time to do that, what you get is that you actually get time freedom back.
Yes.
And you get a business that runs independently of you, which is a real business. A real business should operate independently of the business owner. If a business is dependent on the business owner being there, then it's not really a real business, and it could certainly never be sold. Okay? So having said all of that, what I continuously try and do with Mobe is I try and build that franchise prototype as if one day I was going to franchise it out. I'm talking about Mobe as a company. If someone wanted to buy Mobe and come and do what I do, that's what I got to work on. So for example, I have our managers write standard operating processes out for their division. So every single role within the company, we have over 185 staff now, but every single role I want clearly documented. I don't want to have all of our IP, our intellectual property, our knowledge, our know-how stored in everyone's heads. Because if people go away, there goes the business. Okay, so I try and run the company as if we're building a franchise prototype, because then it's actually scalable. And then if somewhere down the line, 10, 20 years from now, I wanted to take a step back and not be at it, 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day, I could do that. But having said that, I have no immediate plans to ever sell Mobe. I enjoy doing it, I really do. It's all I've been doing pretty much throughout all of my 20s, so it's all I know right now. It's something that I'm definitely in for the long term, and I've got big plans with where I want to take it. Okay, does that answer your question?
Thank you so much. Absolutely, Matt.
Thanks, Chan. So guys, if you have a question for me, go to askmattlloyd.com. But otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.